Hello, lovelies. This is 5 Minute Manifesting. I'm your host, Lovey Brown. Thank you so much for listening. I'm thrilled that you're here. Today, I want to talk to you about a manifestation I had a long time ago, but I was reminded of it this week when I was listening to some Abraham Hicks talk about it's just as easy to manifest, to attract a button as it is a castle as it is a button. So, in our minds, we think of manifesting a button as easy, right? It's pretty easy. Like there are buttons everywhere. It's easy to create, it's easy to select a button in our reality. And we feel like it's harder to select a castle. Castles seem rare. Castles seem large. They seem extravagant. They seem expensive. They seem out of reach to a lot of us. But the same energy creates both, selects both. So if you can get yourself to the place where you feel abundant enough to select anything into your reality, the way you may feel about buttons, the way you feel about something that feels really abundant in your life. When you have something in your life that is already abundant, in this example, we're using buttons because a lot of us have access to buttons. A lot of us may have memories of like a sewing room or a sewing kit with like a jar of buttons or a big box of buttons. When I was a kid, there was a store. I don't even know what kind of store it was. It was probably like a thrift store of some kind, or maybe a consignment store. And they had or it could have been a fabric store. Like I said, I was a child. I don't fully remember what kind of store it was. I just remember they had a giant box of buttons and they sold those buttons by like the handful or the pound. Like there was some way where you could get a scoop of these buttons and purchase them. And so I have memories of abundance of buttons. When we buy certain items of clothing, very often, at least where I am, like an extra button will come with that item of clothing to replace the button if one should fall off. So buttons feel very abundant. And you want to create that same feeling about whatever it is you want to attract into your life, whatever it is you want to select and bring into your 3D reality. You want to feel that same abundance about it. So I want to tell you a story about a time that I used this button concept. This has been some years ago. I think I started the podcast by mentioning that I was going to tell the story, and then I got sidetracked by talking about the concept. So I wanted to use this concept of attracting a button. And so I made sort of a challenge for myself. I was like, I'm going to manifest deliberately on purpose a very particular button. And so I picked a strawberry shaped button. And that's what I picked. And so while buttons are very abundant, I don't know that I've seen very many strawberry shaped buttons in my life. And so I was attempting to manifest that. And I think I maybe even was playing with a timeline. I don't fully remember if I gave myself a really short timeline or not. But I did set this task of manifesting a strawberry shaped button. And I manifested it within 24 hours. And so I was just, I did my focusing work. I made the decision, I'm going to manifest the strawberry shaped button. I did my focusing work. And I was at Michael's craft store, which, that if there was going to be a place I would manifest it, but I didn't go there because I was manifesting the button I needed to go there for something else. I was there, and lo and behold, there it was, a strawberry shaped button right there in the craft store. So within 24 hours of deciding for myself that I wanted to create this very specific thing, just to practice my focusing, to practice manifesting into my life. and to practice the other skills like detaching from the outcome, like doing my focusing work and then moving into my daily life. That's what I did. And I did it within 24 hours. And there it was. I found the button. It was very exciting. That happened a long time ago when I was practicing manifesting deliberately in that way. And I thought it was a fun story. And I was reminded of that story because I was listening, like I said, to Abraham Hicks talk about buttons and castles. And I wanted to share it with you. So maybe it will help someone out there today. I hope it does. And with that, may you manifest exactly what you want.